I oftentimes will have clients who I feel like are struggling with identity shifts as they get healthier. I will encourage them to journal about it, but I'm now thinking like, ooh, pair this oil, like put this oil on and then journal about it. So now you've got like that added boost of helping you understand what life could be like as a healthy individual and how it still can be awesome. You still are going to get love and attention, but in a different way.
Welcome to the Bottle Poppin' Podcast, where Meg and Heather share their love for oils, friendship, and entrepreneurship. Let's get it poppin'.
So it's a new day. It's a new time to pop open a conversation. So Heather, what are we talking about today?
Well, we are going to create a spa environment this morning with popping open a bottle of eucalyptus. And this is an updated blend now that actually includes 5 different species of eucalyptus plants. So this is not just one particular species anymore, which is what it used to be. It is now 5, so it comes with that many more health benefits and just such a lovely smell. It smells like a spa.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I no longer have the original eucalyptus, but I do remember when it first came out smelling the two together. And this one just smelled stronger, I felt like, if I remember correctly. It's been a few years now.
Elevated almost.
Yeah, but it's really lovely. So also added benefit, just smelling it, it definitely opens up your airways and stuff. And 'tis the season for all of the pollen in the air, which is definitely making my throat a little more scratchy. And so I feel like I just need to walk around with this under my nose because I can feel it like go up my nose and down my throat. It's powerful.
Easy breathing is one of the primary uses for this oil. I was going to ask you how you often use this the most, but you may have answered that for me.
Well, diffuser. I don't normally walk around with holding the bottle under my nose. So, but for sure, diffuser. I love this one in the diffuser. And I love this one mixed with citrus oils or mixed with mint or both.
Yes, I agree. Lemon often smells really fresh with this oil in the diffuser. However, I've also used this one in one of those steamer cups with lemon specifically to open up airways if one of us is really congested. Boil some water, pour it into a mug, a drop of this, a drop of lemon, and then just kind of breathing in the steam that is created. You don't want to get, too close. It is still concentrated, but breathing that in really opens up the airwaves. And then what I do with it afterwards is I dump it into the diffuser and add a little bit more oil. So now I can recreate it without having to dump it down the drain.
So smart. Yeah, and also without drinking it. So this isn't one that you can use internally, which is important to say as well, because I feel like it would be real tempting to drink this. Don't do that.
Yes, aromatic and topical use only for this oil. And I will say I probably use it aromatically, both from the steamer cup and the diffuser, more so than applying it to my skin. Out of curiosity, I guess let's see if it smells different on my skin than it does from the bottle, because I feel like I've been smelling it from the bottle. It smells a little bit more mentholy, maybe, on my skin than it does from the bottle, I think.
I don't know that I can tell a difference in the smell, but it definitely has the menthol cooling effect on the skin. So I can feel it for sure.
I do feel that. So we are going through some early hormonal changes with kids in my house, and they are already hot people by nature. And so last night we were talking about when they just constantly feel hot in their beds, and I suggested putting peppermint on for the cooling effect. Neither of them love the peppermint smell. My son did not feel like it was effective as he wanted it to be, and then still had the smell too. However, I agree. This definitely has a little bit more of the cooling effect. So I might try this on them tonight just to kind of see if they like this better.
Yeah. And it's shocking. I don't know that I've ever noticed that about eucalyptus, but I guess I don't normally put it on my skin.
Right.
So what's funny about that, though, one of my favorite stories about eucalyptus involves putting it on the skin. And one of my husband's best friends was over at the house, and he was complaining about feeling super stopped up. And this is when I was still relatively new to oils, but I was like, oh, I have eucalyptus oil. Let me give it to you and rub it along the sides of your nose. And first his reaction, like before I even hand it to him, he's like, are you sure? Eucalyptus is really expensive. And I was like, it's not that expensive. Like, I don't know where he gets his eucalyptus from, but he then rubbed it on the sides of his nose, just like I showed him, and instantly, like, he could breathe. It opened up his nasal passages, and he was like, that is amazing. And I was like, here, let me make you a little roller bottle. So I made, a 10 ml roller bottle. I had an empty one and probably did 10 drops of this and the rest coconut oil. And again, he was like, are you sure this is really expensive? And I was like, I'm positive the price per drop really is not that expensive. And if it helps you that much, please take the oil. And so it was fun to just have somebody experience it and feel the difference almost instantly of being able to breathe again. But also his excitement that it really was not that expensive. Please take my gift. Let me help you breathe. And what's interesting is, doTERRA does sell pre-made roller bottles, not of eucalyptus, but of other oils. And they do not share because it's proprietary information on what it is. But I feel like the 10 to 30 drops tends to work really well.
I
And the
agree.
rest, any type of carrier oil. I personally like fractionated coconut oil because it doesn't change the scent and also it doesn't stain clothing, which is huge. Like if you're putting it on your feet before climbing into bed, it's just kind of weird, I think, to have foot stains at the base of your bed. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. It's not like people are looking at my sheets, anyways, but yeah, that's why I like that. Oh, and the other thing that I like about fractionated coconut oil, which for people who don't know what that is, regular coconut oil, it becomes solid at room temperature. And so when you heat it, it becomes liquid. But fractionated coconut oil has part of the fat removed. And so because of that, it doesn't solidify. But it also, one of the other things I love about it is it has a much longer shelf life than something like olive oil. It's a shorter shelf life. So if you are making your own roller bottles, they'll last a whole lot longer and not go rancid if you use coconut oil.
And when you dilute an essential oil with something like coconut oil, you're not diluting the oil itself, the potency of it or the
Mhm.
effectiveness of it. You're simply allowing it to linger on your skin longer so that the oils don't get flashed off. That coconut oil or any other carrier oil helps keep it on the surface of the skin. So it does have positive benefits that way.
Yeah. And even thinking about that, like we both just put it on us and the coldness is already gone for me because I just did pure oil. So do it. Make yourself a roller bottle.
And we do have some early episodes. If you are unsure kind of how to, if this is the first episode that you're listening to and you're a little unsure of how to use essential oils, and when we say things like aromatic or topical or internal use for other oils, like what does that mean? If you scroll back, we've got some early episodes more on the general use and safe practices of essential oils.
I think it's like our first 3 episodes. The first one's kind of just introducing us and the podcast, but then episode 2 and 3, we really go into detail on those things. So yeah, that's a good point. We should definitely probably refer back to that more often than mentioning it on episode 180 something. Like, oh yeah, way back when.
So this is the oil of wellness, and I think it makes sense of why it's used in spas. First of all, it's very fresh smelling, but also this helps individuals be able to move past those thoughts of kind of living unwell. So in physical therapy, I see a lot of people that identify with their unwellness. And so they kind of get stuck in this pattern and feel like they are supposed to be unwell if they are living as themselves. And that's not true. That's not true. There are solutions and we don't need to live in that space. So eucalyptus helps people process of why they think that and then be able to move past that and live in a space of wellness and that positive space versus that negative space of unwellness.
Yeah, it's. I mean, I see that a lot in the nutrition space as well. And like as you're talking about it, I'm thinking I oftentimes will have clients who I feel like are struggling with identity shifts as they get healthier. I will encourage them to journal about it, but I'm now thinking like, ooh, pair this oil, like put this oil on and then journal about it. So now you've got like that added boost of helping you understand what life could be like as a healthy individual and how it still can be awesome. You still are going to get love and attention, but in a different way. It's not people showing up to the hospital for you. It's going to be people showing up and doing life beside you, which is so much more fun.
Yeah.
And so just kind of helping people process through that and using this oil as just another way to help you get there is kind of cool to think about.
I like that. I think that's a good suggestion.
All right. Well, anything else on eucalyptus?
I am glad I have this one when I need it. It definitely helps with opening up airways, and I think just the general thought of it being a wellness oil, it smells good, it smells fresh and uplifting. I think this is a good one for people to have.
Yeah, I totally agree. So get yourself some eucalyptus. You will enjoy it. It's fun to blend with other oils as well. And we hope you enjoyed this episode. So please share it with a friend if you found it valuable. I'm sure they will as well. Thanks so much for listening.
Thanks for tuning in. For more information, you can follow these bottle poppin' ladies at bottlepoppinpodcast.com. Tune in next week to learn about what bottle we're poppin'. Until next time, take care. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This podcast is not intended to treat, diagnose, cure, or prevent any disease.